This event is about bringing together people to build a better island future. A strong, sustainable economy based on green jobs, green building, and cleaning up environmentally contaminated sites. It's important that we're here to see a picture of Hawaii's future, a future which is sustainable, where people are employed in meaningful jobs, protecting the environment, and building a community that is sustainable environmentally and economically. So anyone who's in the business of building new structures, anyone who's in the business of cleaning up land for development, and anyone who's in the business of providing green jobs for installing solar panels or any of the other new green technologies should be here to network together to build on that future vision together. Going green for Hawaii is absolutely essential. It's the only way as an island community that we will be able to survive the economic fluxes that normally wash across our shores. We need to be independent in our energy production. We can no longer afford to be dependent on fossil fuels for our energy and for our lifestyles. And we have such a limited land base, we have to make the best and most productive use of what we do have on these precious islands. And the way to do that is by learning in conferences like this and working with experts who are here today to build a better future for Hawaii.
It's up to us. The combination of ideas and action. In a single word, leadership. And providing that leadership today, I'm pleased to introduce our Governor, Neil Abercrombie.
Aloha, everybody. Aloha. Look at the crowd that's here today. It's just terrific. It's a wonderful, wonderful sense of anticipation that I had when I came in the building. But there's, I believe, about 500 people signed up. That means you're not quitting. That means you're not demoralized. You're not discouraged. You may be a little demoralized, but you're not discouraged. Well, I'm here to tell you today, as governor, that the Green Workforce Development Conference this year is taking us over the line into action that we're never going to turn back from. You can count on that. And I'll be counting on you in it. That not only do these decisions have to be made, but they have to be made with the idea that when they're made, they're going to affect us not just for 5 or 10 years, but for the next century. It has to be done now. Otherwise, we are going to be victims of globalized forces, not just with carbon-based fuel, but with international economic forces, particularly in the Pacific, Asia and the Pacific, South Asia and Asia, that will simply overwhelm us. When we talk about energy, when we talk about the green workforce development, I hope all of you are thinking about agriculture too. In order to do that, we're exporting dollars. Everybody here knows that, dollars by the ton. Gas, a couple of weeks ago, at $6 a gallon in Hana. It'd be one thing if we were paying $6 for a fuel that we were growing here in Hawaii, that we were renewing here in Hawaii, that we're keeping the $6 and the jobs associated with it in Hawaii, but we're not. It's all leaving. Yes, it's pleasant for the refiners, for example, to be able to make a nice profit from a small venue like us when they do. But if it becomes a bit difficult for them, or even creates a bit of a loss for them, they can write it off. It's not worth the effort. You're going to have cooperation from this administration. You're going to have collaboration. We're going to get procurement reforms. We're going to change how things are done. As I indicated, we have to make the decisions now. So I'm here, as I conclude, to lobby you. You don't have to lobby me. The reason I wanted to be here today is I'm here to lobby you. You've got to be at that legislature next year. You should be out there moving. That's what I'm going to do. When your special interests, when the green interests of this state coincide with the public interest, I'm going to be an advocate. I'm not going to stand on the sidelines and acquiesce or acknowledge or nod in your direction. You guys are terrific. Thank you very much. Invite me back next year. It has to be advocated for. You have to advocate. We've got to get the revenues directed in the areas that they need to go in order to see that this happens. The interests that are private interests, special interests and private interests, are at the legislature every day. And they're talking to legislators every day. You've got to do it. I'm going to be reaching out to you. Don't be surprised if I give you a call next year and start telling you when the hearings are. And say, I'm going to be there. You better believe that. It's not going to be easy to move into a green life. It is not going to be easy. And it's going to cost some money. When we move to be a green society in Hawaii, that it's necessarily going to be cheaper. It may be as expensive or more, but the jobs and the money and the determination and the future remain here and remain in our hands, and we make the decision. Not some damn corporation in New York or Chicago or Beijing or wherever, or Shanghai or Bangalore or any place. Wherever it might be, or Saudi Arabia, or in the Middle East, or someone else telling us what we're going to do in order for us to have a future. We want to have a renewable future, a sustainable future. It all comes to the same thing. Do we care enough about ourselves and our future to actually do something about it? The fact that you're here today means you want to do something about it. The fact that I'm speaking to you this morning, I hope, means to you that I want to do something about it. And so I'm asking you today, let's stay together. Let's stick together after this conference is over. Let's stay in touch. Let's make sure that when we get to the next legislative session that we're prepared to move forward to make the decisions that we have to make. We need an expanded PUC. We can't continue to have the same kind of approach to energy and distribution that we have now with a model that is 18th, 19th century at best. Doesn't even come up to 20th century. I have to have an expanded PUC, and they've got to pass that legislation, and you've got to see to it that it happens. Otherwise, we're working with a Model T in a rocket age. We've got to get the cable going. I have all kinds of arguments about what that has to be. We've got to get out of being isolated by island. We all got to work together on energy. Everybody knows that the Big Island has most of the energy resources we've got. Everybody knows that Oahu has the least. Oahu has the most population and the least resources on renewability. Well, Big Island has the most. We've got to cultivate them all. And I don't want to have any more arguments about which energy is better than the other energy. We need them all. We're going to have to work together on everything to make that happen. And we're going to have to share with one another and see to that each island is taken care of. It does what it can. That's what happens in the canoe. You put your paddle in the water, everybody pulls. Some people are bigger, some are stronger, some are faster than others. It doesn't matter. Everybody does their share. Everybody pulls together. That's how you get to the shore. Whatever your talents are, whatever your capabilities are, whatever your proposals are to move forward, we need to see them in an integrated fashion. You're going to see it from this administration. You're going to see it from me. Let's work together. Let's win together. Let's go green together. Thank you very much.